what the point in time count does, it allows us to get data, sorry, to understand what homelessness look like in our community. Homelessness is not just one thing. It is many different things. So it allows us to see the demographics of who is homeless, what their needs are, and how we can assist them.
Absolutely. And in gathering that data,
Mhm.
is it depending on how many people are counted, and that basically then the city can then apply for grants for certain housing things? Tell me, what are some of those programs that they hope to apply for depending off the amount of funds that they get?
Well, they can apply for transportation since we are a rural community. They can apply for continuum of care, which is housing, for permanent supportive housing, for rapid rehousing, or just any resources that can help individual with eviction notice, disconnect notice for their utilities, and allows us to have program to help combat if homelessness, if they are already on the street, and if they are not, we can help them maintain their housing that they are in.
Well, as far as, the volunteers and everything, so what does training look like for them? Why do they need to be trained in counting the homeless in the region?
Um,
We do have a volunteers, new volunteers every year, and of course, Texas Homeless Network trained us as trainers, and so they ask us to train the volunteers, and things differ every year. The app may be the same, but also, the question might different. The people we collaborate with are different. The agencies. And so they do ask us to impart the information that they gave us to our volunteers. And it is important because often this is the first time some individual are encountering homeless in population. So it's good to kind of let them know um, how to react and to stay calm and things like that. So
I
that's
see.
why we do the training. Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys have an actual in-person conversation with these people. And so it's just really just advising people, ways to be
Mhm.
respectful, how
yes,
to get that answer accurately.
right.
Because as far as by definition, do y'all say the homeless are the people without homes, period?
We stay with the whatever the definition is or whatever the word they are using at the time.
The
So
hood.
they have not changed the homeless resource. They are the homeless pit count. So we just keep it the same. Once they change the language, then we'll change it. So, but for now, it stays as is. In our training, we do have the verify who we count and who we do not count. So that is also included in the training to let them know if you encounter somebody who's, let's just say, have an eviction notice or about to be homeless, they're not homeless and they can't be counted. So it also answers their question as well as train them to what homelessness is described based on the HUD definition.
Well,
I
since I
see.
since I have the presentation pulled up,
Go
um,
ahead.
so unsheltered locations consist of people that actually live on the street, in outdoor encampments, or other places not meant for habitation, such as a park bench, something like that. And then we have the shelter locations. Examples of that is the emergency shelters, domestic violence shelters, transitional housing, hotels or motels paid by an agency or a voucher. But if they're not in one of these, then they won't be considered homeless on that day.
Okay, I see. And just curious, so it's in the Longview region. So how big is that region? Where is like the stopping point?
They are
It's
including Gregg County. That include Kilgore, wherever they touch, Gladewater, whatever Gregg County is touched and Smith County doesn't touch. For example, if Gregg County apply for a grant, right, and Gregg County say, or the agency says, I'm going to work with more than one county, not just Gregg County. So the grant that they get not only cover Gregg County, but it covers other counties that they say in the grant that they're going to cover. For example, Community Health Corps, we cover 6 counties. Longview might not cover 6 counties, but if we get a grant, we let them know this is the county that we're covering.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's just you. If Gregg County get one and they just want to, let's Longview Community Ministry, for example, right? Whatever grant they have, they say I will cover Gregg County up to Eastman Road to 59 or up to whatever. They can do that because they only serve in Gregg County. But if they had said, I want the money to cover more than just Gregg County, I want to go into Cass County or whatever, then they can do that. It's up to the agency.
When you talk about combating homelessness, I mean, it's I guess it's my wish, my desire that everyone has shelter. You know, I don't really care about the issues that we have. I think that everybody needs shelter, and realizing that there are individuals that have issues, yet and still everyone needs shelter. So our main purpose and focus is for the pit count, any year that we do it or every year that we do it, is that everyone is that comes up under the definition, the HUD definition of housing, is that they're able to be counted. And if we're able to assist them, well, not we, so to speak, whoever applies for the grant, able to receive it and be able to actually assist the individuals needing assistance. That's my hope.
Absolutely.
For me, the goal of the pig count is to bring awareness to individuals that um, are homeless, and it's not one particular circumstance or issue that leads to homelessness. It's a variety of them. So it's just to bring awareness to, you know, what it takes to be homeless. For me, I'm just grateful that we are able to have a bit more, what's the word, coverage and bring awareness to that, to the pit count. You know, we've had it last this time before, but this time is to a greater scale. And, you know, the mayor is actively participating in it. And that's just wonderful for me. The thing is that we may up to 100, but whatever we can get, that's what we can get. And also oftentimes some volunteers know where the homeless people are, where we are not aware of. So it's just whoever can volunteer. But
Yeah.
I
And
would
so
put up to 100. Maybe I'm giving a big
But the
number, but
goal is 100.
and in
yes.
some instances we won't know where to go look
Mhm.
for individuals until the day before. So all the volunteers will receive any assignments on the day of the count. So when we meet at where is it this year, the exhibit center. So when we
Yes.
meet at the exhibit center, all the volunteers will be given their assignments that day.
Okay, I see. And you guys also had your online training session this morning too, right?
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
how many people showed up? And do you know if there was any committed people who wanted to do it?
We had about 8 that showed up, and those there were a few of them that were repeat because the VA also is included in that, the VA clinic. They are included in that. So those were the people that came to the training this morning. We have one at 2. I don't know how many is gonna show up, but yeah.
We had
That's
a bigger
great.
one when we did it with the city. The first
Yeah.
training that we had, that was a little bit larger.
Hmm.
Consisted of fire and police and other individuals at that meeting.